again, welcome everybody back. I hope you guys learned some new information in your breakout sessions. Matter of fact, feel free to drop the information that you learned, like one very important thing that you learned in the chat, and we'll share that information as well because we're here to bless everybody, okay? So many of you may know that Dallas Habitat does the building of homes and selling of homes, right? But I want to let everybody here know today that you do not have to buy a Habitat home if you complete their education course. So you can actually go take these educational tools and educational courses and use the tools and skills to buy a home from anybody. So you can go get your own realtor. In fact, Habitat has partner realtors that work to help them and everybody with their home ownership education students so they can buy a home, okay? So we wanted to invite two Dallas realtors up next so that you can ask them any questions you want about shopping for a new home. So we have Miss Lakeshia Jenkins and Lisa Woulard, who are knowledgeable North Texas realtors who are ready to answer any questions that you have when it comes to buying a home. Now, what makes this story really special with the two of them, Lakeshia completed Habitat's home ownership counseling program in 2018. And then she bought her home with Lisa's guidance and support as her realtor. Now she's a realtor too. So that's really cool. And both of them are dedicated to helping other families become homeowners. So welcome, ladies. Hey, Lisa. Hey, Lakeshia. How y'all doing?
Hey, guys.
Hey. All right. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to take a bunch of questions. And let me tell you, the questions are already popping up, ladies. Okay. So we're going to take questions from some of our viewers today so you can answer. But before we read some of the questions, Lakeshia, tell us a little bit about how Dallas Habitat's home ownership counseling program helped you become ready to buy a home and build your home buying team once you were ready.
Okay, when my husband and I first applied, I knew we were taking it.
Uh-oh, we can't hear you very well. Uh-oh, I don't know what's the microphone. Make sure we.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, it's a little choppy. It's okay. Keep going. We're
Okay.
all good.
Okay, so when my husband and I first applied, I knew we were taking a chance.
Oh no, we can't hear. Can y'all hear her? We can't hear you.
No.
It was working earlier.
Are you talking into your mic?
Yes. Can you hear? Can you hear me now?
You went a little bit better now.
It's a little better.
Okay, let me
just lean further in.
Yeah.
Okay. So when my husband and I first applied, I know we were taking a chance. You can hear me, right?
No, we can't hear you now.
Okay. Let's see.
So maybe what we'll do, I don't know, maybe Liz, do you think she should log out and log back in?
Or try to come in from your phone. And sometimes it doesn't work as good from your computer. So that's why I jumped on my phone. So try it from your phone.
Okay.
And then, Lakeshia, you can go ahead and take the questions for now. Or Lisa, you can go ahead and take the
Lisa.
questions for now.
Yeah, shoot me out some questions.
Okay.
Yeah, so Lisa, let's talk about why partnering with Habitat is so important to you personally, and how many families have you helped throughout this process?
I am a very big supporter of Habitat. I'll tell anyone, look at the organizations that pour back into your community, not just build here, not just work here, but they actually pour back into your community, not only for them, but for you. Habitat hosts classes. They come back and host education classes, financial classes, home buying classes, and then help you be successful with being a homeowner, even after you finish that. If you need them, if you need help with your home making repairs, they pour back into the community. They reinvest in our community so our community stays growing and vibrant. Why would you not partner with Habitat? And I've been blessed to be a preferred realtor of Habitat for 5 years now.
Wow, congratulations.
I am super excited about that. I miss teaching live, but definitely enjoy that partnership. And I've had the success of assisting 7 families, goes either through Habitat for education and build a Habitat home or just purchase outside of the Habitat program. So I've done some blood, sweat, and tears.
I know that's right.
And helping them with the buying, or building their home. And it's nothing more rewarding than that.
Yeah. And don't forget, you guys can drop your questions if you have any questions about, buying your first home. We have 2 realtors on. We're going to get Lakeshia back on here in just a second. They're here to answer your questions. Now, let's talk about the realities of everything going on today. You got COVID-19. is it still a good time to purchase a home?
Run with it. Run.
Woo.
Why would you not? We have an opportunity. I know Tommy came on earlier and told you guys, but rates been as low as 2.99. So what that means is you are robbing them for a house. You are able to extend your buying power, because when the rates are low, and if we've been good and we kept our debt to income ratios low, it makes us be able to afford more. Now, we don't want to be house poor, so we don't want to go over our budget, but it allows you to really get a nice, comfortable, affordable payment and still get a nice, comfortable home that you can grow into for the next 5 years or so.
I
But
love
yes,
that. I love
yes.
that. Okay, so we do have some questions here. Somebody says, let's see. May you please talk about where people who are facing the hardship of COVID-19, where they can start? Low income families are paying rent that is almost or is the same as mortgage. How to help them prepare to buy a home. So kind of along the lines you were just saying, with the COVID-19, how do people start over? Let's just say they have no savings. Their credit is low. As a realtor, how would you suggest them start that process?
My favorite place to start is definitely, you can come into Habitat, take their education courses. Habitat has a lot of courses that you can come in and learn about financing. And truthfully, that's where it starts. You want to know how to be, you don't want to just buy a home. You want to be successful with it throughout. So you want to know about looking at what I just said, debt to income ratios, your DTI was what we call it. You want to know what it means to have that 30% utilization on your credit. You want to know why we want to have at least 1 month of all bills in our savings. You want to know what repairs you want to be able to expect when you become a homeowner. You want to know, God forbid, if we have another COVID-19, what are my options to save my home if I become what we deem non-essential?
Right.
Unfortunately.
No, exactly.
So you want to know those kind of things. And the way you know that is through that education, staying involved and growing in your community and going back into the classes. My recommendation for anyone right now, don't beat yourself up if things have happened and you could not pay everything on time. Don't beat yourself up. The first step is admitting that. Okay. Now let's work on a plan so that never happens again. We want to go in and attack plan. We want to get rid of the bills that are the highest interest rate. I'm not worrying too much about payment, but that highest interest rate.
Right.
You use the Dave Ramsey system. You attack it like that. And every time you pay that one thing off, you go ahead and apply that payment that you were paying to that one to the next bill. Now, don't go and try to resurrect everything on your credit. Don't go pay I haven't paid this in 5 years. In order to buy me a house, I got to go pay that. No, you don't. Because we're looking at the last 2 years and we're not going to pay everything. We're going to pay the things that's going to bring us the maximum amount of points.
That is a really good point about not going back. I didn't even know that you guys only look back 2 years, because you'll end up getting yourself in more debt you bring those old debts back live. So if you didn't pay something in 2015 and you call it and I'm buying a house this year, so I'm going to pay it in 2020. Well, that debt now is 2020. And then they've already made all their money off of that in 2016. So at best case scenario, we are only going to give them 50%, but we're only going to pay the ones that bring us the highest points on our credit. So we don't want to attack everything. When you work with us, and my company name is right there, I'm the home approval team. I am Lisa Woulard. When you work with us, we work with you on every step accountability. So, and we check in with you, because sometimes you're at a process, you might be a year out, you might be 6 months out, but we're gonna have an assignment every month. We're gonna have a plan of action, because how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. Hello. Okay. I'm trying to tell y'all, these are the people that become and walk next to you and become they're on your team, like Miss Lisa. Look, I can tell you play no game. You're gonna get them in that home, okay?
Oh, if you work with ask Lakeshia, you work with me, we getting the home.
Yeah.
We are getting it. Now we're gonna be realistic about our budget. I'm gonna be honest with you. The days of $1,000 payments are over. They are, unfortunately. They are. But what we're going to do is set realistic goals and say, what does my family truly need right now? and what we need within that next 5 years. Everything works on a 5-year plan. There's nothing in life that you do that is not on a 5-year plan. And if you, what you do is you start at a starter home. No, gone are the days where my parents are still in the same home that we bought 30 years ago.
Right.
Most people are going to upgrade or downgrade on a home. So what you do is learn how to take that home you bought on your starter home and let it build that equity, a life savings, a wealth building tool for you and your family, and help it get you to your dream home, if that's what you want to call it, or help it be your first rental property to leave for your kids, or help it be the property that you started in. I'm going to take some of that equity out and use it to buy me my new home, but I'm also going to use it to buy a business. How I can't tell you in my 13 years how many people have used their first home to do so many other things, and I have been blessed to ride that ride with you. I get super excited about this.
I can tell, and I love it. I love your excitement. Okay, I love it. Let's talk about it, because Lakeshia, you went through the program, you work with Miss Lisa, and now you're a preferred realtor, which is like, boy, let me tell you, this has come full circle. So let's talk about you going through the counseling program and how it got you ready to buy your home.
Okay, you can hear me now, right?
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Yes.
We are good.
Okay, yeah. So when me and my husband first applied, we were taking the chance. We didn't think we would become homeowners. Habitat gave us a chance, though. We never believed we would become homeowners. We did not know anything about buying a home. We just knew we wanted a home. Habitat helped us create a household budget. We attended home buyer education courses, financial education. We volunteered. Also, home ownership counseling, where I had to repair a few items on my credit. And once that was taken care of, we got pre-qualified. Habitat helped us even after we bought our home. We learned how to keep managing our credit scores. So now we both have great credit.
I know this.
Going through Habitat's program does not mean you have to buy a home from them. We didn't. They give you the knowledge that is needed to buy a home. So just recently this year, I received my real estate license, started with Keller Williams Arlington. One of the main reasons I joined real estate is because of the feeling that I had when we got our keys. And I wanted to see those same smiles on my buyers' faces.
Yes, I love that. Yes. That is so awesome. Okay, we only have like 5 more minutes, but I do want to take some questions from some of our guests that are watching right now. So this is a really good one. It says, I'm self-employed. Would my income have to be different from one that's employed by a company? So you have somebody who's an entrepreneur, self-employed. How do they buy a home? Ms. Lisa?
Well, what they're going to do is, now this is where it becomes tricky, and we're all guilty. If you're an entrepreneur, if you own a business, we're guilty. When we go to file our taxes, we want to write. We want to write everything off. Oh yeah, I bought that for the business. Let me write that off. Well, when you're taking all those write-offs, that reduces your income drastically. So you could go from saying my business runs successfully and I was making $100,000 a year and I've been doing it for 5 years. But on paper, when we look at you, you only made 30,000 because you wrote off everything. And look, we all don't want to pay Uncle Sam, whether we self-employed or employed, we all don't want to, but we have to. So what you want to do is make sure you get yourself with a good financial advisor, okay, a good accounting and a good CPA. Make sure your business is set up properly. And then you want to make sure you're taking advantage of the tax advantage that puts your business in better light and have less penalty on you as an employee. Make yourself an employee. Okay. So you want to just strategically do that a little bit different.
Okay.
But you still can be a homeowner. So don't think, oh, I'm self-employed, I can't buy a home.
Okay, nice. Okay, let's take one more. It says, let's see, this is from Shakina Chapman. It says, I'm not from Dallas. I'm not familiar with a lot of the different areas. Can you recommend an area that might be ideal to search for when looking for your first home? Is that preference?
That's hard. It takes a lot. What you're looking for in the community, what our budget is. Sometimes our budget has to dictate where we can go. Okay. yeah, that's going to be pretty much it. Where our
Okay.
budget is going to go, and then what we need. Some people can't be no more than 30 minutes away from their job and commutes. You know, some people have to be certain areas because this is my support system to get my kids to and from school, or you know, different things like that. Or these are the activities. So it really depends on that's you got to take a little bit more into factor on that.
Okay, this is another good one. It says we currently live in an apartment. Our lease ends in July of next year. They want to build a home. When should they start the process?
Some builders take 6 months to build. We're average about 8 to 10 months, depending on our weather. Now, y'all know we haven't had our rain like we should have. So when you have rain, it affects you. Every week it rains. That's almost like 3 weeks out for a builder. But it depends on how big of a home you're building, but definitely 6 months. But I will tell you this, don't wait 6 months and start the process. If you're trying to build a home, you want to start that within that 9 months, okay? Or it might even be right about now, depending on how big of a home you're trying to build.
Okay, and then last question, and we have about a little bit over a minute. It says, I co-signed for my daughter's car in October of 2019, and I just recently purchased another vehicle in June of 2020. How does this affect me when it comes to me trying to buy a new home?
Okay, so first, make sure our daughter pays her payment on time, monthly. You can do that 2 ways. You set her up to log into your portal so you can see it. Make her make the payments directly out of her account to that car dealership or that where you finance with. Or you can have her pay it to you, but it has to be in a check or money order. And make sure she writes in that memo, this is for my Kia account number, da 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 da. Okay. So that way we can pull back and say, yeah, I financed the car. It's in my name, but this person paid it. And I have 12 months of history to show that they pay it. And we can sometimes, if the rules go back to what they used to be pre-COVID, we can call that justifiable.
Okay, perfect. Well, I want to thank both of you for coming on today. First of all, Lisa, you are just a ball of energy and wealth of information. Again, for those that may not have heard, she helped Lakeshia in 2018 go through the process. And I believe was part of the inspiration where Lakeshia actually has now become a realtor so she can inspire people the same way that Lisa inspired her. So this has come full circle. Lakeshia, thank you for sharing your experience, you and your husband, starting from the very beginning, becoming homeowners, going through the process, volunteering, and now you have you're digging back and helping those that are coming in the future that were in your same position.
She is ready. She is ready.
Yes.
I do want to say,
yes.
I tell anybody who goes through this Habitat program, whether you buy a Habitat home or not, if you go through the education program and you go through and you utilize us as your realtor, the home approval team, I do give you a credit at closing. So you get $750 back from me at closing. So that means basically we can cover your appraisal or we're covering your inspection fee or something of that nature, but it happens at closing.
Okay.
So if you're successful with your program.
Okay, so how can they get in touch with you? Do they need to go through Dallas Area Habitat or look up Home Approval Team? And then I know you're with somebody else, Lakeshia.
No, we're still Keller Williams, so she's in our office, but my name is right there on my Zoom. You can look up the Home Approval Team. I'm on Facebook, Instagram. My number is 682-235-SOLD.
I know, you better sell it then. I love it. Okay. Thank you, ladies, so much. You guys were amazing. Thank you all so much. And congratulations again, Lakeshia.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
All right. I'll see you all later. See, isn't this great? I told you we have energetic, motivating experts that will team up with you when you team up with Dallas Area Habitat. So it's important, you guys. You want a team when you're going through this process. And these are some of the people that will be teaming up with you when you join up with Dallas Area Habitat. Okay. So just know that finding affordable homes isn't only about you. It's actually about your city and state too. Our city and state officials, we've been talking a lot about voting, putting people in the right positions, especially in the climate of our country right now. We do rely on our elected officials to enact policies that create more affordable housing in our city or state. So I'd like to invite back my friend Tosha Herron-Bruff from Dallas Habitat. to talk about some of the work that she's been doing to help enact change in the city of Dallas. Because y'all, she not only talks about it, she is so about it. Okay. So thank you, Tosha, for coming back on today. We really appreciate you taking your time out. Tell us a little bit about some of the work that you do in the community and to try to enforce more affordable housing for our neighborhoods.
Well, let me tell you about this last segment that you just had was fire. And the reason why you all, I see all these participants on here. That is what Habitat is about. That came full circle. There was a teacher and a student.
Yes.
And this person learned so much from this teacher that she herself decided not only did she want to take the first step to homeownership and was successful, now she wants to bring other people along.
Yes.
That is how our work happens. And that's what we're supposed to be doing in the community. Millard Fuller is the founder of Habitat. A lot of people like to think Jimmy Carter because he put us on a national stage. He did that. Millard Fuller wrote a book called More Than Houses. And in his book, he talks about our obligation to our community. And when he said community, he didn't say white communities, he didn't say Hispanic communities, he didn't say Black communities. We have an obligation to community. And what that means is that we have to be diligent as an organization to make sure that we are protecting the future of our clients, of our families that we're putting in our neighborhoods. That not only are we building them a house, but we're strengthening the neighborhood and the communities that they live in. We can't just put somebody in a house and say, you guys go be great. Most of you are going to be great. But we have to make sure that our communities are serving the needs of our families. You have proper education, you have proper health care, you have proper food, you have, things that are going to make that neighborhood thrive and work for you. This is your investment, the biggest financial investment you will probably make in your life. We have Habitat homeowners, Jade, that have contributed over $100 million in taxes to this city.
Yeah.
Don't they deserve,
Absolutely.
don't their children deserve the very best? So our job is to work with community groups, work with our council to make sure that we're advocating for the needs and the benefits of every neighborhood, not just some neighborhoods, but every neighborhood.
I love that. And Tosha, you just recently launched, you have your own podcast. I'm so proud of you. That's so awesome. It's called Dallas Unplugged.
Yes.
Tell us about that because you are out here. Look, you moving and shaking, Tosha. It's not a game. I love
it. It is not a game, Jay. It is not a game. We don't have time to play. We don't have time to play. Things are so serious for us right now. And everybody who's listening right now, this is not the time to rest. Our Dallas Unplugged is a podcast that has conversations with government officials, policymakers, community leaders about what we can all do to make our communities better and talk about the things that matter. Dr. Martin Luther King said, our lives begin to end when we choose to stay silent about things that matter. This is a platform in which we are going to discuss all of those things. But the great thing about Dallas Unplugged is that we want to also provide solutions. Most recently, we talked about COVID-19, the disparities in a lot of our communities right now because of this pandemic. So there are a lot of important conversations that are happening around Dallas and what all of our residents need to know and how you can act and get involved in solutions. So I'm very proud of it. You can find it on Spotify, iTunes, and even our Dallas Habitat YouTube channel.
Okay, and that is Dallas Unplugged.
Yes.
And you mentioned like the policies. Now, a lot of times when we hear policies, that can be a little intimidating.
Yes.
Because we don't know the policies.
Yes.
So why is it important that people do understand, learn, and know the policies that are going on in their city when it comes to purchasing a home?
Yes. We all need to be informed. A lady asked a question, about figuring out the area in which she wants to live when she buys her first home. You need to do that work and figure out who's leading your council. Who's your council person? Are they advocating for your needs? Is the city putting in an investment into neighborhoods so they can grow and thrive? You need to be educated on all of these things. How are we supporting the work that needs to be done? We need to be advocating for more, affordable housing. And how do we, advocate for repair programs in our neighborhoods? Those things you need to know about. We have places in Dallas right now, Jade, that don't have Wi-Fi, that don't have basic Wi-Fi, don't have basic transportation services. You're talking about someone who needs to go to and from work. They might be limited if they're in an area that doesn't offer these services. So you need to make it your business, your priority, to know how your leaders vote. How do they stand on certain issues? Those things matter. When you move into a neighborhood, you become a fabric of that neighborhood. So you need to use your voice to make those changes.
Absolutely. Again, I just want to reiterate for those that are like, on the fence about continuing with this process, making sure that they link up with Dallas Area Habitat for Humanity. These are the reasons why you should. Everybody that you've seen on here today, Tosha, who has gone, you already have you are already doing your thing with Dallas Area Habitat. But this doing Dallas Unplugged to me is going above and beyond to educate, to inform, to make sure that we're getting into the right situations for us. And so I just want to thank you for doing that. Like, I just think that that's amazing, which means that you have a passion for helping people. And those are the type of people that you want to team up with, especially when it comes to a huge investment and like buying your first home. So thank you so much, Tosha. I appreciate that. Tell us one more time where we can find Dallas Unplugged.
Dallas Unplugged, you can go to dallasareahabitat.org. We have episodes there. And you can also go to Spotify and iTunes.
All right. Well, thank you. And I want to be a guest on there. I don't know what I'm going to talk about, but I'm coming on.
You're going to be on for sure.
All right. Sounds good. Thank you, Tosha. I appreciate it. All right. So I hope everybody's doing great. I hope you're being just as informed and excited, just like I am today.